Alright, hey guys, I'm Mathew Lighty. This is going to be a little mini-series of just the progression of one hardcore character that I'm going to pretty much start when I have to go away for a few days on a some sort of work-related trip, unfortunately, which is dealing with my dead uncle's house. So it's going to be, since I'm gone for a few days, I figured I'd do a little mini-series, at least start one for you guys. And it's just going to be a hardcore character progression. First things first, we got to pick a name. We're going to do it from the random name gen, just like our forefather Childish from House Gambino. We're going to pick a name here. Sunshine Haynes. Okay. That is, what? Regenerate. Yvetta Stana. This is just like borderline gibberish. I found a new one. This one has fantasy names. Johnny Golden, Richie Raymond, Hoyt Koch. Okay. I'm looking for one that speaks to me, and Guadalupe Barnett. Pretty close. I don't know why for some reason Guadalupe Barnett is. I'm picturing a small Hispanic woman cleaning rooms, and then the size of Kevin Garnett, which is a different person altogether. But okay, and then for builds, I'm not sure what I want to play. We're in hardcore, so I should try to be more defensive in nature, but also I'm just better than most people at this game, so totems as a Hyro does give me a nice little mana pool, nice little chunky mana pool. You're not exactly a Guadalupe in my mind, but we have an underscore. Guadalupe Barnett. Welcome to the new world as a long neck Templar. Got my coffee. We're just gonna be basically playing as if it's a league launch. I don't even know if I have a filter set up. Hyper strict or semi strict. Those are my options, huh? It's not super great for me, but that's okay. We do have a little bit of a technical advantage because I do have a vault pass, which is yeah, I mean we're gonna just accept that. I've got a technical cleared vault pass, meaning I will, you know, at some point have access to, when in maps, a very, very small boon of little treasures, if you will. Amongst the totem skills, one of the starting ones that is actually a totem skill is Flame, just like the basic Divine Ire, Fire Ire. And the problem with, like, no game sounds. We get like a lucky unique off the first Hillock. I can't. Oh, it's actually just a Driftwood Scepter. That's kind of horrendous loot off Hillock. Now, one of the cornerstones of going, and you know, totems is Ancestral Bond, which we're going to path to probably just through the life node here, and we're probably going to grab the efficient nodes in the beginning. Because we're in hardcore, I will path through the life mana section before pathing through the Ellie section. So it's going to look like pathing through here, across here. I'm going to come up over here, grab the life nodes, and then grab Ancestral. And after Ancestral, you've got some options of either Aura stuff or all the good initial starting Templar stuff. So things like Holy Dominion or Light of Divinity, those are always pretty good. But doubling your DPS through a second totem kind of beats everything else early on, especially. So that's going to be our go-to. Just going to grab Smite as a starter skill before Glacial, because it's kind of better. There's actually a +2 Fire Wand, which we're just going to grab here, because when we get our first little Flame Totem, that will be pretty nice as a benefit. It truly doesn't matter even in hardcore what you play, as long as you play smart, which might seem obvious, but, you know, people tend to rush into engagements even, and eventually you don't think about it. I currently have my flask still even set up on shift keys because they're set for automation and endgame, but it truly makes no difference. Mechanical skill is going to outweigh most things. And throwing caution to the wind will get you killed, especially in Merc League. Because we're in Mercenaries, we want to interact with Mercenaries to gain the benefit of their loot. However, it is to note that Mercenaries are super rippy, especially early on. Not having even a medium life flask could lead to death. We're going to do all the side quests as we're progressing, so just one, since this is the only character for the series, little Guadalupe. He is going to just do his best doing all the side quests and gain whatever sort of boon they have to offer, although it really isn't much. Alright, our first rare. It's a Battered Helm. It's got a resistance. That's good enough. We do have to pick out what microtransaction we want to rock for the series, you know. It's always good to stay thematic, so let's put these on theme and pick how I want little Guadalupe to look. I kind of like the idea of doing the Soul Keeper one from Expedition, so we're going to rock that. So I kind of just look like Anubis now, and that's going to be life. Guadalupe obviously is some sort of Hispanic, and obviously Anubis is from Central and South America, so it works out fine. Here's our first real boss in Glace, and Wow, nothing. Pay in our title chest reward, and we get something amazing. No, not a Quicksilver, a medium life flask. That's right, because we really don't care about how fast we're going. We just want to be safe. Now, amongst these sort of support gems we're getting, there are some that are useful. One, we're going to take Arcane Surge, because we know we'll be using that eventually for something. The other ones, although they have some benefits at the moment, are really more geared towards a modality change, which we really care about. We're going to change our flasks off of shift key so I can click them easier. And we're going to recheck our shop since I've leveled some. I don't really have much for resources, so I really can't purchase anything, but it's good to see what's around. Off we go to the mud flats. This is going to be the first area that you're probably going to die in if you die early on, because Roas stunlock the shit out of you, and that's kind of spooky. There's a magic pack of Roas. Well, there should be a magic pack around here somewhere. I'm not sure what it actually is or where it is, but there's going to be one in the mud flats. There's also a unique Roa somewhere around here. First things first, though, let's go grab this submerged passive waypoint, because we've got some stuff to do. Let's see what Tarklight has to offer. Alright, there's Holy Flame Totem. So that's going to be our bread and butter for a while here. We're just going to replace our Smite and our Prolif out, because I'm curious about something, really. Let's grab the little shitty shield. Let's check our totem DPS here. So, Holy Flame Totem in puts us at 16.3. Now, if we were to... I don't think there's any way to use a shield with the right links, but levels are so powerful that I'm curious if this is more than 16.3, 20.5. Yeah, so even unlinked, because of the +1 gem level, we're getting more DPS, which is crazy. Gonna grab this perfect rustic sash to get more damage, 24.6, and we're gonna head back into the mud flats because there is a mercenary coming up. I've got some missing gear slots and I could use some sockets. Let's put down our little totem here. You can start to see the burn action go. We only got one totem active, but it'll be good enough. This is going to be a slow and steady kind of vibe. The totem itself, on top of doing fire and piercing, you know, and sort of physical damage, this hybrid kind of damage type that pierces through large packs, also puts on Consecrate Ground, which is great because it lets us get a huge chunk of life regen. So our life regen, which was 8.6, you know, from 1.2, so it's a pretty substantial increase. There is a blue-red plate vest. So we are going to slap that bad boy on, so we can give our Holy Flame Totem some Elemental Prolif. My options are that, or we can go Arcane Surge. Now, our mana cost is 12, so casting a second totem gives us Surge. The base damage from 24.6 does still go up when I have Arcane Surge, but I don't have Arcane Surge, it does nothing ostensibly. Now, Elemental Prolif will have a higher chance of granting that Ignite from my base fire damage it has. Which is 50% of the damage converted, but the other stuff I don't have any damage to represent, so it won't do anything at the moment, but it'll still technically have a higher chance of applying status effects and then subsequently spreading them, so it does something in that regard. Now, onto the beast in the dark over here. We have a mercenary. It is a sniper, and we want to clear the zone around us because we don't want to have any intruders in our fight. Now, mercenaries are going to have a couple things to look at. Their skills themselves as a support for us. Then it comes to what the gear they're wearing, and then it comes to what the stuff they're holding. So this one is holding no uniques. He has just a bunch of kind of white junk, and he has a chromatic. So the question then becomes, do we care about what he's wearing? No. Do we care about what he's has in his pocket? No. Then do we care about, you know, using him as a support? Probably. So we can click higher. Okay. And now we have to win a fight against him, and he's just spooky. It's just something to note that they are spooky. This one has ballistas, and I have to be cognizant of this fight because it is just a spooky fight. So you want to look at what skills they have. This guy's mostly got split arrow and a ballista situation. I just want to keep my totem near him and then run around in circles, and eventually I'll win. He doesn't have anything too scary that it should be of a real concern of mine. But sometimes they spawn with things like puncture, huge bleeds, or summoning minions and detonating corpses, and things that get really, really out of hand quite quickly. That's the sort of stuff I'm scared of. The main thing about having a mercenary why it's beneficial is it helps me kill other mercenaries. So, as long as I get a mercenary, I'll be good for maybe the next 4 or 5 zones, or 4 or 5 levels, as far as the benefit of doing damage to other mercenaries, because it just is a huge chunk of DPS increase. having one does also increase my loot by a little bit, and it does also make the game harder by a little bit. But it really isn't too much of a difference for most stuff. So we're going to go clear the mud floods now that we got a little friend. This is our little friend, Vexia Tarika. If we did find things like a rare bow, we could put it on her and yada yada, but it doesn't make much of a difference early on. Her main benefit is just going to be the fact that she's split arming with Pierce, and that does something. She's probably going to attack things off screen before I even see them. Yep, there she goes. Medium life flask. I like that. Thank you, thank you. Down goes the rare. Oh, rare boots. That's pretty juicy. We get some movement speed. I don't have a wisdom scroll. Oh, there's a wisdom scroll. And no movement speed. And really no super good stats, so, but that's fine. When you get a mercenary, you get this ability called Order to Me, which is like convocation for mercenaries. It pulls the mercenary towards you, gives them a life regeneration buff, and it just lets you reposition. It's pretty useful in general for keeping mercenaries alive, especially those who don't have any sort of innate kit for keeping themselves alive. But yeah, it's just one more thing to do. Got ourselves an augmentation. We're going to toss this on our weapon, and we're going to hit intelligence. Sure. Okay, there's the flats done. If I don't want to waste a portal scroll, which some people don't like using early on, you could just go to character screen and hit play. You're going to end up in town, whatever last town you were in. If you, oh no, I logged onto a different character. This is fair. Hold on. There we go. I had my thing set to the wrong thing. All right, there's our refund points. Thank you.
Farewell.
Alright, now off to the submerged passage we go. Spooky little crit shrine. Let's grab that. You know, while we got the crit shrine up, let's go fight this mercenary, because we're a little bit stronger than we have any business being at the moment. Now, they've got absolute shit. They do have a spookier kit. Alright? But we're just going to take that chance orb. We do have to watch out, though, because they've got a puncture, which it could be a run ender here. But we've got a crit shrine, and I like that. So if we do see we're punctured, we just stand still. Really, we should just be standing still on top of our totem, because it gives us the boon of the conch ground, but you want to be a little bit leery. Right, we've left the small life and mana highway, and we've grabbed Sanctity, which is just a defensive node. Now we're going to be pathing over here to Discipline and Training, and probably picking up Light of Divinity and Holy Dominion, which are two great little notables. Did find a little blue bow here, and I think that might be better than the one she's using. Oh yeah, so we'll give her that. She'll be slightly stronger now. I do have an extra blue socket down my shield, so we can slap in this Frostblink. It's good to have a movement skill. Frostblink is my preferred one because it occurs instantly, so I like the player agency control over the Frostblinking. Alright, mercenary time. We got a striker. Okay, he's got no uniques. He's got nothing substantial. We're just going to take his augmentation and be done with him. Now, something to note is there's a system with mercenaries where you have like a reputation meter. And what this basically means, okay, is that if you were to check mercenaries but not engage with mercenaries, you know, just checking inventories and leaving, you tend to get worse loot on average. So if you're checking mercs, you have to be killing them or taking an item or taking, you know, engaging with them. You can't just check and run. You know, you gotta actually engage with them, which means that, you know, it's a little bit spookier and hardcore. You can skip them if they're truly atrocious looking, but you're just gonna be losing out on, you know, the next one might decay your reputations. Here's the Dweller of the Deep. This is a little side mission that gets us a passive point, which I like. A little Coral Amulet. That legally has stats. 3.8 life regen. Let's go. Alright, there's the crab down. We do get a little Essence of Woe here. We are going to probably hand in and slap onto some sort of wand, I guess, for damage. There is Discipline and Training. Big old life boost. There's a 3-link wand. We're just going to use that one. And it hit damage, flat to spell, life and kill, fire dot. Those are all great things. It should be a pretty substantial increase to our DPS here. So 32.7 becomes 57. Huge. That's a huge increase. I don't have the right colors to actually use it as a 3-link, but that's fantastic. Okay, now we're going to head on to the ledge and work towards Kaduku and the Goat Pass. As always, when starting a new mini-series or progression thing, I'm always curious what my first unique is going to be, because sometimes they can really, really shape a run, you know? Alright, we got a rare body that's way better than what I'm wearing, and I actually have new gloves that lets me swap these over. So, I've got some better stats now. Look at our life. 250-ish. I've got some res. It's all coming up. It's all coming up Guadalupe. Alright, so the Goat Pass in the ledge is a spookier way to go. But we're going to do it because it's fun, because we get to see a bunch of goats. You get ambushed by goats. That's the meme. Alright, we have another sniper merc. This one's got a Orb of Chance. So we're getting punctured, but we're not going to move. We're just going to use Frostblink to move around. So we don't actually move. We're just moving around like that. It's a good way of getting over the nonsense. Otherwise the puncture could definitely hurt. Oh, here's the goat boss in the middle. Alright, time to fight Kaduku, a fellow totem. Well, I guess I'm not a totem. I'm just a totem user. Kaduku has long held a status of being lucky in a variety of ways in Path of Exile, so surely he's holding my first unique. Boink? Nope, nothing. We got ourselves a Ripper Wakani Ratu, but I think it's probably time. Nah, maybe not. Maybe we'll just take those chromes. I was going to say it's maybe time to swap out our person, but we'll just take some chromes and move on. Just keep running in a little semicircle around the middle here, soaking up all that life regen. Get ourselves a couple of chromatics. Nice. I think we probably want to toss them on this right wand. See if we can hit some multi-link, but maybe we'll wait a little bit. Maybe I'll get something better. We do have our first mechanic introduction in the axe. This is from an overhaul they did, and it's a good idea of trying to get you introduced to some of the mapping mechanics in the game. Ooh, a large life flask. And they do that by having lesser versions of them represented early in the axe 1, 2, 3, whatever. Now, one of the ones is Legion in Act 1 to climb. This is this. Now, Legion, you're going to click it. It's going to spawn a bunch of crystals. You break the crystals. They have reward types. Things pop out. That's that. So we're going to look around specifically. See if we can see a unique symbol while dropping our totem wherever we can. So there's a generic loot symbol. There's a currency symbol. Don't see any unique symbol. There's another currency symbol. There's a Legion symbol. A jewelry symbol. Another Legion symbol. Not looking good. Sometimes you get unique things, sometimes you don't. You gotta be a little bit wary when this ends because everything comes rushing out. We don't want to get bogged down and then die, so we just want to take our time. Ooh, jewelers, that's good. Used to change sockets and items. Alright, looks like nothing substantial, unfortunately, but that's okay. Ooh, a rare bow. You know who's gonna love that? Our little miss over here. Okay, on to the prisons, the lower prisons, and off to Brutus area.